Hello everyone. Our today's topic of discussion is Sangam Age. The Sangam Age, it had a timeline of 300 BCE to 300 CE, so roughly around 600 years. Now, coming on to the sources of the Sangam Age. The first one and the most important one is the Sangam literature. Now, what is the history of this Sangam literature? So, according to the Tamil legends, there were three assemblies of poets, and these assemblies were known as Sangams. So, these assemblies they were patronized by the Pandya kings of Madurai, and on the banks of Vagai river in Madurai, these assemblies were held. The work of the first assembly has not survived. From the second assembly, only Tolkapiyam, that is a book on Tamil grammar, it has survived only, and the works of the third assembly they have survived, and they can be divided into two groups, that is Malkanakku, which are the narrative texts, and these narrative texts they included the works of some heroic poetry. So there was glorification of heroes in these narrative texts. And the second category is Kilkanakku, and these included the didactic texts. So two groups were Malkanakku and Kilkanakku. So these were the sources for information about the Sangam age. Some other important two post Sangam works, which are Silapadikaran and Manimekalai. So these were very important sources which gives us information about the society, polity, economy of that time period. The some another minor sources are Periplus of Erythraean Sea, Natural History by Pliny, inscriptions and coins. So these are the few sources of information about the Sangam age. The main two important ones are the Sangam literature and Silapadikaran and Manimekalai. So after the sources, we come on to the various rulers. So, three major rulers were there during the Sangam age. These were the Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. And collectively, they were called as Muvendar or Muvendr. So, from this map, we can see that these were the territories of Chola, Cheras, and Pandyas. So, these were the Cholas, these were the Cheras, and these were the Pandyas. Pandyas had their capital at Madurai, Cholas at Urayur, and Cheras at Karur. So we can say that Cheras were close to these the present day Kerala part, while Pandyas were in the southern Tamil Nadu and Cholas in the northern Tamil Nadu and parts of Andhra. Now coming on to various features of these three. So the first one are the capital. So the capital city of Cholas was Urayur, that of the Cheras was Vanji or Karuvur or Karur, and of Pandyas was Madurai. So these were the three capitals of these three kingdoms. The royal emblem of Cholas was tiger, Cheras was bow, and Pandyas was a fish. The important port, the premier port of Cholas was Puhar, also known as Kaveri Pattanam. Of Cheras, it was Muchiri or Muzirius, and of Pandyas was Korkai. Now the important rulers of these three kingdoms. So the early kings of Cholas, one of them was Ilara, who is known to have conquered Sri Lanka. The greatest king of Cholas was Karikal or Karikalan Chola, who founded Puhar, which was the premier port of Cholas, and he also constructed an embankment on Kaveri River, which was of the length 150 kilometers. So now after Cholas, the important rulers of Cheras, the earliest one was Udayanjeral. One of the most prominent king was Nendunjeral Adan, who took the title of Adhiraja. His son Singuttamam is known for his military victory over the neighboring kingdoms, and even he is said to have crossed the Ganga river towards the north to expand his territory. In the Pandyas, the important king was Nendunjelian I and Nendunjelian II. So these were some important features of Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. Now coming on towards the economy during the Sangam age. Now, as per Tolkapiyam, which was an important source, of information for the Sangam age. So according to Tolkappiyam, there was a five-fold division of land during the Sangam time period, and this five-fold division was known as Tinai. Tinai. Now, the five-fold division included the first one was Kurinji, which was a hilly tract, and it was mainly used for hunting and gathering. The second one was Mullai, which included the pastoral land. The third one was Pallai, that was the infertile land. The fourth one was Marudam, which was the agricultural land, fertile land. And the fifth one was Neetal, that was for fishing and salt making purposes. So, this was the five-fold division of land during the Sangam time period, which was known as Tinnai, and it included Kurinji, Mullai, Pallai, Marudam, and Neetal. Now, during this time period, agriculture was the main activity. Main economic activity was agriculture. So, for that, for a prosperous agriculture, dams and tanks were created for irrigation purposes. And for the trade point of view, they practiced internal, that is domestic trade, as well as international trade. For example, with Romans. So, there was domestic as well as international trade during the Sangam time period. And some of the items that were exported included spices, textiles, precious stones, perfumes, etc. And some of the items imported, they included minerals like lead, some corals, and even slaves. Okay, so this was about the economy during the Sangam time period. Now coming on towards the society during the Sangam time period. So Varna system, it was known, but it was not practiced like it was being practiced in the north. So it was less stricter. The social stratification was based on the clans which were known as Kuti. So similar clans were called Kuti, and there was no restriction on interdining among different Kuti groups. So the Varna system was not as it was being practiced in the North India. It was little bit diluted and not that much strict. So, but the society was unequal. The ruling class was known as Rasir. The rich peasants were known as Vellalas, and the manual farm workers, these were the lowest class, they were known as Kadaisiyar. Another important topic is Nandukul or Virukkal. So these were the memorial stones erected in the honor of those who died fighting in the warfare. So Nandukul or Virukkul. So these were kind of memorial stones in the honor of the soldiers who sacrificed their lives. Uh, Also during the Sangam time period, there is a mention of sati being practiced, and it was called as Tippayaddal. However, it was not obligatory, so it was not compulsory for the wife to die along with the husband. So it was being practiced, but it was not obligatory. From the religious point of view, there was worship of Murugan, also known as Subramania, and the kings they patronized Brahmins as well as Buddhism and Jainism के monks. So monks को भी वो लोग patronage करते थे और Brahmins को भी. Now, uh, after the Sangam age, there is a lack of strong sources. So, a little is known about these kingdoms after the Sangam age. So, because of the lack of sources, हम लोगों के पास इतने सोर्सेज नहीं हैं जिससे हम लोग पता लगा सके कि इस टाइम पीरियड के बाद संगम टाइम पीरियड के बाद इन जो डायनेस्टीज थी ये जो किंगडम्स थी इनका क्या हुआ तो उनके बारे में हमारे पास कोई स्ट्रॉन्ग सोर्सेज नहीं है सो दिस वाज अबाउट द संगम एज and a recent excavation it was held at Kiladi that has proved that there was an urban civilization in Tamil Nadu in the Sangam age and from the findings of this Kiladi excavation the age of this Sangam time period it has been extended back to the 6th century BCE. We have said that it is from 3rd century BCE to 3rd century CE, but its time period after the Kiladi findings has been pushed back to 6th century BCE. So, this is about the Sangam age.